To access the Rover radios, use a web browser on the ground station to access 192.168.1.20 or 192.168.1.25. These are the addresses for the actual Ubiquiti M2 radios. The username for both are UBNT and password Rover for life, ROVER, number 4, LYFE caret. Once logged in, you'll get the main interfaces for both. As you can see, 1.20 is the ground station and 1.25 is the Rover. These are not fixed per se, they are just matched to which one they are plugged into at the moment. Something to note is that right now the one that is the ground station is set up in the wireless mode access point and the Rover set up as a station. This means that the ground station is the one actively broadcasting the Wi-Fi, and then the Rover, which is a station, is connecting to the access point. This is important as it might be possible to swap which one is actively broadcasting to put this radio on the Rover, and then use something like a phone to do ROS control from your phone without needing the ground station present. On these pages you'll see useful information like the SSID, channel frequency, channel width, an estimated distance, which is only really useful at a distance, and specifically the TX power, which is very important. You also get throughputs at the bottom, which are useful to see how much bandwidth you're using, and also airmax quality and capacity, as well as above the transmit CCQ and noise floor. All this information tells you useful information about the status of the connection between the two radios and whether or not they're connected at all. You'll want to pay attention to these if you're having network issues. On the wireless tabs for these, you'll get common controls such as output power, which is the most important one. Currently they are turned down to 10 dB, but they go all the way up to 28. Make sure and turn it back up to 28 before doing long distance driving. But in enclosed environments, 10 is a very useful number so that you don't get too much power in a small environment. These controls shouldn't have to be changed much other than the transmit power, but you do have the option to adjust things like the channel width, which will change how much bandwidth you're able to push over the network, but also changes the distance that you can go. I'd recommend leaving them at the current settings other than changing output power when going long distances. Currently it's set to 20 megahertz for channel width. I've tested it at 40, and that produced a range that was slightly lower than would be desired. Down at 10, you couldn't quite get the throughput to do multiple video streams and control smoothly. One important thing to note is that all of this information can be get by connecting to these radios over SSH and querying them directly for their statuses. These are the numbers that are shown on the Rover GUI.